Hello, 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 everybody. Sorry I'm a little bit late, but I'm here. I just got busy. Next thing I know, it was 8 o'clock straight up, and I was still in the kitchen trying to pour me a glass of wine. So I am here, and thank you guys for coming in. Hello, Anne. How are you? Hello, Carol, Van, Robin, and Pearl. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. As always, I do appreciate it. And also, I want to thank you guys out there in YouTube and Facebook land for stopping in. I know there will be people that will be on watching but not participating. You can come on in and talk if you want to, but nonetheless, thank you for stopping by. And also, hello to everybody that will be watching the um, replay. So, again, thank you. Hi, Judy. Hi, aloha from Hawaii. What is it? Aloha. Hi. Hello, Deborah. How are you? Um, Thank you for stopping. What time is it in Hawaii now? It says it's 8:04 here, of course. Uh, is that Pacific time? I think it is. I'm not sure. So that would make it around 5, if I'm correct. Maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, beautiful Hawaii. What island are you on? Let's see. I am. Um, Carol, you said you need to go make some dinner. We'll pop back in later. Yeah, I hear you on that. Oh my goodness. It is 3 o'clock Hawaiian Standard Time. Did not know that was the time. Okay. Hi, Danielle. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. So, okay. Hawaii Standard Time. I've been to Hawaii. It was beautiful, gorgeous. Went to the Big Island and also to Oahu. So I had a really nice time. It's been a while ago, but I have been to Hawaii, but I don't remember. We weren't paying any attention to the time, so I have no clue what time it was when we were there. We were having too much of a good time to worry about what time it was. But anyway, it is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I am assuming, if I'm correct, because I know on the West Coast it's 3 hour difference, which would make it 5. So then you guys are 2 hours different in that. Okay, that's interesting. So you live on the Big Island. Okay, good. Yeah, that was nice. I was there, didn't get a chance to go up to see the volcano because they were active when we were there and they suggested that we didn't go. And they didn't have to suggest too hard because I didn't want to go up in there and get stuck in all that lava and all that stuff. But did have a good time on the Big Island as well as on Oahu, as I mentioned. Did the Pearl Harbor thing and the boat and all of that, the ship rather, and all of that kind of stuff when we went to Oahu. And to that Polynesian experience thing, we did that. So anyway, um, come back. You have room. Thank you for the invite. That's tempting. That's tempting. Um, but anyway, like I said, it's been a while. My husband at the time, actually, I got married there, so that was the reason why we were there. And I got married in Hawaii and stayed for our honeymoon. And my best girlfriend uh, was there with us. So it was just four of us. Me and my husband, her and her husband had a nice little private wedding on the beach and sunset wedding, the whole 9 yards, and it was really cool. Enjoyed it. So that was it. Hi Joyce, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Do appreciate it. It's always great to see all of the familiar names popping back in today. I might be a little off kilter a little bit. I don't know because I don't know. I was just kind of moving around a little slow today for some reason. That's why one reason I was a little slow getting coming on because I didn't even start cooking dinner until 6:30, which was weird for me. So I had to get the dinner done, eat a little bit, and then get myself ready and all of that kind of stuff. So, and that's something that I normally don't do. I normally am making preparation by 5 p.m. for my show. And I didn't do that today. So, y'all forgive me. I did do my research, so I should be good with that. But just the whole getting on situation, a little slow with that. Anyway, I got my mama shirt on, and let me take this banner off of here so you all can see my mama shirt. Let me see how I get it all. Get it all. Get it all. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, here it is. At some point, I'll figure it out. There we go. There we go. I just wanted you guys to see my mama's shirt. Yay. And then where am I? I got the names on the sleeve. So I did the thing. I had to join in with everybody else and hop in. So I kind of like it. Okay. Thank you, Robin. How you doing? And how are you doing, Robin? I Marina, you love my sweatshirt. Thank you so much. Um, do appreciate it. I know I had the Gigi shirt on before, and that was when we were asking about the fabric and stuff. But I picked this fabric out all by myself. I didn't ask for help for this one because I was kind of loving it, and you love it. And um, thank you very much, Pearl. You like it. I like it too. And Robin, you say you're fine, so that's good. Glad to hear that. Are you back working your thumb? Can you sew or anything? So hope so, so you can get back. I know you got a lot of stuff that you want to do. So hopefully you can get back to it soon because I know you got stuff to do. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys my shirt because I thought it was kind of cute. And like I said, I jumped on the mama shirt bandwagon. And then I decided to put I know Leslie and I had talked about putting names on the sleeves, and I had done a shirt before for someone else, and no, that's not true. I did a shirt. I did my Mama Claus shirt for Christmas, and I put names on it, but I put it up higher, and I used my 5x5. And Leslie and I were talking about it, and she said she wanted to put it down closer to the cuff. And of course, a 5x5 wouldn't work down there. 5x5 mighty hoop. And but I used Durkee fast frame, so that's how I was able to do this. I did the 3x4 Durkee fast frame, and it worked pretty good. So that's how I did that. Hi, Karen. How you doing? Thank you, Judy. You love the shirt. And Robin, you said you've been sewing and using the rotary cutter. Girl, I think I'd be running that. Deborah, that is a beautiful mint green color. Yeah, I like the color. I like the color. I thought it was kind of cool. So thank you very much. Do appreciate that. So okay, we're getting on up in the time. It's 12 after 8. So we're going to go ahead and get started on what the subject is for tonight. So I was just thinking, and I might have mentioned this at on the last live, or either it was the last sew along, whatever, but I think I had mentioned this situation about noticing so many uh, ads on Facebook selling their machines. Um, Looks like everybody's, you know, every one of the little organizations that you join and everything like that, people have, I'm selling my machine, I'm selling my machine, I'm selling my machine. And it was just like, why are people selling their embroidery machines? And the thing that stood out the most wasn't so much of the fact that they're selling the machines. These are new machines. These aren't like machines they've had for years. These are machines that they seem to have had a year or less, and they want to sell them. So my question was, why? What's going on? Because the embroidery industry is actually growing. It is not um, fading away at all. More and more people are getting into it. I'm not going to say that it's getting um, oversaturated, but because it's so, it's millions of people in the United States and the world. It doesn't have to just be the United States. So there's definitely room for all of us. Some people do better than others as far as selling and stuff like that, just depending upon what you want to do and how you want to do it. But if you're sewing for yourself or just friends and what have you, there's still plenty of business out there and plenty of things to do and stuff to learn and all of that. So why would you be getting rid of your machine, especially if you invested a lot of money? And I see 201, 2011 Miss Mac. You say you want to sell your SFW 15, what is that? What is it? IS 151C. You want to sell it. May I ask you why? I'm just being curious. You don't have to answer, but if you choose to, I am curious to know why, because I was curious to know why people are selling their machines, because it was just kind of a thing that stood out to me. And Marina, some of the sales of scammers definitely have to be very careful. That part is true. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit as well about that. So I was just asking. So of course, I went to my favorite person, and that's the AI. And you said a lot of people buy machines and don't know how to use it. There are manuals and YouTube videos. That part is true as well, which you would think people would do that. So my AI kind of, and if I can find that particular one, they kind of alluded to that a little bit. And one of the reasons, there was several reasons listed why people are selling their machines. And it says the embroidery machines have become quite the trend lately, and there are several reasons why people might be selling their home embroidery machines, and then they want to explore the possibility. And the first one is, according to AI, it's called Copilot now on the Microsoft Windows. Customization and personalization. Embroidery allows crafters to customize various items from t-shirts, caps, towels, bags, etc. And people who have already created personalized goods for themselves or their loved ones might decide to sell their machines to make room for new projects or simply because they have fulfilled their creative desire. Pretty much saying that they got into it. Now they're kind of tired of it. They've been doing it for a while. Decided that that is not something that they want to continue to do, which could be a reason. And 2011, Miss Max, you said you have other machines that are best for you to use in your business. The SWF is an industrial machine, and you admit you was not ready for it. And hi, Jenny, how you doing? And you're not late. We're just getting started. Well, that kind of goes back to what was mentioned by Anne just a minute ago, where she says a lot of people, let me put her thing up here, a lot of people buy machines and don't know how to use it. And then she is expressing the fact that there are manuals and YouTube videos. Now, I have to admit, you can't always find a YouTube video for every model machine that's out there. And some of the machines don't provide you with a lot of education. And a lot of the industrial machines may very well not provide you with a lot of education or instruction. And it is frustrating. I have to admit that I had a machine before I got my brother. Don't have that machine anymore. But I did have a machine before I got the brother. And it did come with tutorials eventually. It was a process that you had to go to. It wasn't like you get the machine and along with the instructions and everything, it had to be scheduled and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm one of these people that like to jump in head first. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's not. So when I got the machine, I was anxious and I wanted to get started. And I figured I was smart enough to figure out how to use the machine. It's just a machine, it's a computer. And you push enough buttons, you're gonna get stuff started. I couldn't get that thing to work for nothing. I could not get that machine to do anything. So if I had not had instructions, I never would have been able to operate the machine. Luckily, instructions were provided and I was able to operate the machine. Didn't keep the machine for various reasons that I'm not going to discuss, but the fact that at least there was some training. Now, I don't know about the SWF, the ZSKs. I don't know about Tajimas and Barundas and all those different industrial machines, whether or not they provide the training, which I can see where there's frustration. Um, Perhaps, and this is not just, uh, you know, going directly to 2011 Miss Max. It is for everybody. Perhaps research needs to be done on whatever machine that you're considering buying prior to buying the machine. You need to research as much as possible. Now, a lot of times you'll research the reviews, whether or not it's a good machine, and how do people like the machine? Does the machine function well? Resale value, those kinds of things. You'll research that to make sure that it's a good machine that you're buying. But do you research how easy it is or how difficult it is to operate? Do you research what type of training is uh, given to you if you buy the machine? Do you research where do you get your technical help if you need technical help? Do you research how you're going to get the machine serviced if you need to have it serviced? Those are the things that you need to also include in your research when you're making a decision to buy one. Now, I'm not going to say that you need to start from the bottom and go up, like, start off with a small um, single needle machine like a SE 1900 or PE 700 or anything like that. I'm not saying that you should, basically crawl before you walk, which is not a bad idea because to be perfectly honest about it, I do think since embroidery machines are not cheap, even the ones that I've mentioned, my SE 1900 cost me $1,000. In my mind, that was a lot of money. I was floored when I found out how much a embroidery machine really cost. I bought my SE 1900 thinking I had spent a lot of money on that machine and just happened to go into a brother dealership and saw the Stellar. And this was almost 4 years ago, and was in sticker shock when I saw how much that machine cost. It was like $8,000. I didn't even know there was such a thing as an $8,000 sewing machine, embroidery machine, whatever. That was sticker shock to me because that's what opened my eyes at how expensive embroidery machines are because I honestly did not know. I did not know because I had never had an embroidery machine before. I did not know. And mind you, I didn't do research because I wasn't looking to get into any type of business or anything like that with my machine. I was just getting a machine for fun, for a hobby. And I did look at how to operate it. I did. I did look at how to do embroidery. I did before I got the machine. But I didn't look into what do you do beyond having fun with it because that's why I got it, to have fun with it. It just happened to be just before the pandemic, like a month before the pandemic. I bought my machine in February 2020, and March of 2020 is when they announced the pandemic and shut everything down. And that's when I kind of started doing a little business because everybody was making masks and I was making masks too. I made masks for myself. I had no intention of making masks to sell until people started encouraging me to do so because they liked the masks that I was making for myself because they were cute. I was putting all the embroidery designs and all that kind of stuff on it, and everybody said, "Oh, those are cute. Why don't you sell them?" I'm like, "Okay, light bulb, make some money." And that's how I got into it. And it grew and grew and grew. And then my comfort zone came, as well as my love for embroidery, and moved up the line. But nonetheless, that is not the best way to do such a big investment. I don't think, now that I look back on it. Now, when I got ready to get my 10 needle machine, I did the first machine I got. I did not do due diligence. Honestly, I did not. I just wanted a multi needle machine. And I was thinking about like a 4 needle, 6 needle, something like that, because I didn't want to spend a lot of money. And almost got scammed because I saw an ad for a machine that didn't even exist. It was a Melco Racoma. It was something ridiculous that doesn't even exist. And when I called about, I couldn't call the number. You couldn't talk to anybody. So I think I called Racoma or Melco, one of them, and was asking about the machine because I couldn't find any information about it. And that's when they told me that this is a scam. It's not true because this machine doesn't exist, and so forth and so on. Buyer beware, blah, blah, blah. So I wasn't going to send money anyway. But what if I had decided to do so without checking it out? But I still didn't do the research because the only research I was doing was how much does it cost? Not so much of any of the other things that went along with it. But lesson learned with that machine, when things didn't work out, I did my research for my brother. And I knew right away that's the machine that I wanted. I was quite content with that. I researched a couple other machines as well, but I was most comfortable with everything that I read and heard and learned about the Brother machine. And that's why I went with Brother. And I have yet to regret that decision. So I did do that. But it just boggles my mind that people spend the money and then they want to sell the machine, and because they don't know how to use it or whatever that situation may be. But anyway, the other thing is number two, which makes sense, is upgrading. Many crafters start with entry level embroidery machines and eventually want to upgrade to more advanced models as their skills improve. They may seek additional features, larger hoop size, or multi-needle capability, and in selling their current machines help fund the transition to a more sophisticated one. Now that makes perfect sense, um, to do that. However, even with that, if you are upgrading for a business, I recommend that you keep what you have if you can afford to, and then buy to add on. And the only reason I'm saying that is that you will find that if you're starting some type of business, you may be in the need of more than one machine. Now, if you have a small machine like my SE 1900, and I keep talking about that because that's the only other embroidery machine I have, it only will stitch up to a 5x7. So I can do a 4x4, 5x7, or I can do smaller, 2x3 or whatever for initials and stuff like that, which is not a big deal because You still can do left chest logos and a lot of different stuff with that machine. So if you get an order, like I got an order for 80 shirts one time, left chest logos. I didn't use my small machine, but I could have. I chose not to because um, I knew for me, because I don't work outside of my home, that I could manage to work all day and into the night to get it done in a timely manner that didn't require me to have two different machines. Now I did have two hoops. I got two 5x5 so I could hoop one and stitch with one and just alternate like that so the machine is constantly going. Now you need to do that. You need to be able to keep going. Because while one was stitching, I was hooping. One was stitching, I was hooping. One was stitching, I was hooping. So the machine was constantly going. There was no, um, there was no break in it, and therefore I was able to crank it out in a timely manner. And I paced myself, and I already knew pretty much in my head how many I could get done in an 8 to 10 hour period. If that's what I chose to do, it's usually about an 8 hour period per day. But I knew how many I could get done. Therefore, I knew about how long it was going to take me to get that order out. So it wasn't a big deal. Now, if I had had twice that many, I would have been in a world of hurt. I would have been in a world of hurt. I may not have been able to take the job without letting them know, look, hey, it's going to take a minute to get your order because one person can only do so much with one machine. But anyway, my recommendation, if you have another machine and you can afford to keep your machine and just get the other machine. It's nothing wrong with upgrading, but don't get rid of what you have unless you don't have the room. Now, if you already, yeah, unless you don't have the room, then you got to do what you got to do. And if you need the money, then you got to do what you got to do. But if neither one of those are hindrance, I would just add to. I wouldn't, I wouldn't get rid of my machine. I have no intention of getting rid of my SE 1900. As long as it works, I will keep that machine because that was my inspiration. I love the machine. It does really, really well. And, I'm attached to it. So that's just me. And I had mentioned space constraint. That's the next one. Embroidery machines don't require much space if they're single needles, some of them. However, some crafters find their homes are getting cluttered with crafting supplies. When space becomes a concern, they might choose to sell their embroidery machine to free up room. Now, depending upon how big your room is or your space or whatever you're using. And I know I've talked to a lot of people, and their space is their dining room, their space is their living room, their space is their bedroom, and hubby is sleeping on the side. Yeah, it is what it is. If that's what you want to do and that works in your home, then that's what you do. But if you wanted to add to that or get a bigger machine, because if you got like my brother machine, the weight of it is supposed to be 92 pounds. 92 pounds. That's the machine, doesn't include, the stand and everything. The machine itself is 92 pounds. So it's mobile. I've moved the machine. Me and my husband have gotten the machine in and out the car and so forth and so on, up and down stairs, all of that. We've been able to do that. We would not be able to do that with an industrial machine. A true 15 needle machine, mm-mm. Machine's too heavy. So you're going to have to be somewhere where you don't have to move it around. And usually you don't, because I'm not aware of any dealership where you can actually take an industrial machine into. Usually you have to have a technician come out if you're lucky, or they have to talk you through fixing it yourself, which is usually what happens with people that I'm familiar with that have those big industrial machines. They actually become the mechanic and they have to do a lot of the work themselves. be guided as to how to do it, or they're lucky enough if there's somebody in their area that can come out and work on their machine. But as far as taking it in like you do with a brother, and personally, I have not used the young man that is in our area that will come to your home, but trust and believe the next time it's time for me to have my machine um, service, what I intend to do is to have him come out so I don't have to haul it in. And it's not that difficult to haul in, but I don't want to have to do it. I don't want to have to get it into a car and get it out the car and all of that kind of stuff when someone can come in and do it and take care of it and leave. That's more convenient. May cost a little bit more. I don't know. But you pay for convenience. Number four is a business venture. Some people initially buy home embroidery machines as a hobby, but later discover the potential for turning into a business. As their passion grows, they might invest in a commercial grade machine. And in such cases, selling their home machine becomes a practical step towards expanding their embroidery business, which is true. And again, that would definitely have to do, in my opinion, with money, because a lot of the content creators that I have watched on YouTube that have the home machines have kept their home machines and have just added to it their commercial machine. Angela Jasmina is a perfect example. I think she has like 7 machines now. She has 7, 8 machines, and at least 5 or 6 of those machines are her Melco. But she still has her brother's 6 needle machine, and she still has her single needle machines, her PE 800 or whatever. She has multiple machines, but she has added to hers. She hasn't gotten rid of it. Eve from the Baby Booty done the same thing. She bought the red line, but she kept her brother's 6 needle machine, and she still has her single needle machine, PE 800 or 700, whatever she has. She has single needle machine. Um, who else do I know that I've seen on YouTube? Oh yeah, Jeanette. Jeanette has 3 brothers, a 6 needle and 2 10 needle, and she has a SE 1900. So people add to their machines, not necessarily get rid of them. They try to make room if possible. Number five, efficiency and profitability. Machine embroidery is efficient and cost effective. It allows crafters to create personalized merchandise quickly. For those looking to turn their passion into profit, selling embroidered goods can be lucrative. As a result, some crafters may sell their home machine to focus on commercial ventures. We just said that. And then the other thing that uh, we don't talk about is health or vision issues. Occasionally, people will sell their embroidery machines due to health related issues or poor vision or something like that, where they can't effectively use their machine. Or if mom had a machine and mom passed away, and the daughter, son, whatever, have no interest or no clue how to use it, and they don't want it, and then they get rid of it. And that makes a lot of sense because the person that used the machine is no longer around to use it. And because I don't know anybody, if something was to happen to me, my machine is just sold. I'm pretty sure of that because I don't have one person in my family that has any desire to do any embroidery that I'm aware of, to learn how to do it or anything. And so it would just be sitting here collecting dust. So I'm pretty sure that it would be going up on the market because nobody has said, "Mom, let me learn how to use your machine," which is I'm kind of glad with that anyway. But anyway, so that happens a lot. So what are some of you guys saying before I get to the next part? Um, Hi Becky and Jenny. I think I spoke to you. Um, Marina, the learning curve is high. I think people see others on YouTube and think it's easy. They fail to see the failures in practice. Lots of people want instant success. That part is true. Um, yeah, we don't always show our boo-boos when we're doing something. I know Janessa, she doesn't filter out her videos. So if she messes up or whatever, it's just messed up. I know Eve does when she was doing more embroidery, she would do a lot of live demos and she would mess up and it's live, so it is what it is. I haven't done any live demos, but I have to tell you, maybe I'm cheating a little bit, maybe not. I don't know, but I don't put up a video on how to make something or do something until I've done it myself already. Because I don't want my boo-boos up there. And the only reason I don't want to put the boo-boos up there is because, well, sometimes I do have a boo-boo and it's on film and I don't take it out. Like I remember when I was doing the hat thing and I hooped it incorrectly and I realized I hooped it incorrectly and I was like, oops, that's wrong. Not supposed to go that way, it's supposed to go this way. And I kept on going, didn't try to change it or anything like that because you need to learn boo-boos happen. But rarely will I try to do a demo of anything that I haven't done myself before making the video. And the only reason that I do that is because the whole purpose of making the video is showing you how to do it step by step. And a lot of times people get confused if you mess it up. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. But like you were saying, Marina, if people see you do a project perfectly every time you do a project, people can make the assumption that it's easy to do when it's not. Because they didn't see us mess up 15. When I first started embroidering on my SC 1900, and I still have some of those tiles, I bought a big stack of tiles out of Sam's, washcloths. I think it had about 20 or more in there, white washcloth. Eve suggested you start practicing on tiles because if you mess it up, you can still use that tile to do something else, which is true because I still have them, I still use them. I know I messed up over half of that stack trying to learn how to use my SE 1900. And it's not a hard machine. But if you don't understand what it is you're doing, if you don't hoop it right, you don't use the right stabilizer, if you don't program it right, whatever, it's not going to come out right. And it does take practice. I don't know anybody that starts doing anything the first time and gets it right. So, be it sewing, embroidery, drawing, painting, dancing, playing ball, whatever, it takes practice to get it right before you get good. So, you're not going to all, that's the same thing with embroidery. You're not going to get it right the first time you do it and you've never done it before unless you're a genius or something. You're not going to be able to do that. And you are going to have issues with your machine, the learning curve. You need to read that manual. I had, I think I don't know if it was Andrea or Marina who we were talking the other day, and it was something that I figured out how to do after I was reading. And I said, well, yeah, they tell you reading is fundamental. You got to read. The answer is right there in the book, usually. Usually, you will find an answer to whatever it is that you're trying to do on your machine, especially a brother. I can talk about brother. I can't talk about the other machines, but I can talk about brother. The brother manual is not the easiest manual in the world to read or understand. I will admit that. However, the information is there. The information is there. I know Marina and I were looking at something she was telling me about a video. In that particular video was talking about how to do a particular project on a stellar. And she had sent me the video and said, well, I believe this can be done on our 10 needle machine. But the name that they were using for the stellar for that particular function is not the name that is being used in the manual for that same function. So I was able to find it by looking at the video and identifying what she was selecting on the LCD panel. And I recognized it from the Stellar onto the 10 needle machine. And I said, that's it right there. This is what she's trying to do. So then I went into the manual and started going through the pages. And luckily I found it. So it was labeled totally different. It was named totally different. It was in there. But if I had not known what to look for, I never would have found it. I never would have known to even look for it. It wouldn't have been something that would have stood out because what I have noticed with the manual, the brother manual, and I'm just going to tell you guys, I don't want you to give up. Those of you that happen to have the 10 needle brother machine. And I can't speak on any of the other company machines. I can only speak on what I know. So I'm talking about the brother PR 1055 and probably the brother 1050. And most likely the baby lock venture because they are pretty much the same. The information is in your manual. However, it's almost like reading the Bible. You have to read page by page, chapter by chapter, word by word before you will get to everything that you want to learn or maybe need to learn about your machine. And nobody's going to do that because you're not even going to understand it because you're reading it. If you're reading it like you're reading a novel, that doesn't make sense to you. People get manuals to learn how to do a particular situation. And I don't think the index is good. I don't think the index is very good. And we couldn't find the information I was looking for in the appendix. So the only way to find it was like go by page and try to figure it out. And like I said, luckily I found it. But I do have to admit, it's in there. The information is in there. I have yet to want to learn how to do something on that machine and did not find that it was in my manual. I just had to find it. So it is in there. So if you have any issue with your machine, if you can't find somebody on YouTube that will tell you how to do it, then um, trust and believe it's in your manual. Good luck at finding it's in there. um, what else? And you said we pay for the technology. We do. And I definitely paid for the technology with the brother because that's what I wanted. I knew that it had all the bells and whistles that I wanted, and that's what I wanted. So that's what I got. Now, 2011 Miss Max, actually the reviews were very good. Training was provided, but only in Patton, Missouri. And the support for maintenance is through a third party that told I guess you were told that at first, or you weren't told that at first. The SWF was cheaper than the brother. Yeah, the brother ain't cheap, and you get a big. You probably got more. I don't know if you got the 12 needle or probably the 12 needle. That's more than 10. 12, 15 needle, whatever, and then you got a larger hoop size and all of that stuff. So I understand the why behind it. But I'm glad to hear that the training was good. The reviews were good. I know the reviews are good on SWFs. I've seen those. And training was provided, you said, but only, and so I guess they had in-person training, which is not always a good thing. When I was getting trained on the other machine that I had before the brother, it was virtual training. So in a way that was helpful, in a way it wasn't, but it was virtual training. Hi Marissa, how you doing? Hi Pearl, how are you? You said Pearl, you said your first embroidery machine you bought in 2000 and it was 2300 and um, that was very high, the high end of the day, but there were not videos on embroidery and I had to rely on a lot of books and CDs. Yeah, that is true. That is true. We are a lot luckier now than we were. I was gifted a machine and I was trying to figure out back when it was, and it had to be in 2005. I believe it was 2005 or 6 when I got my Singer Futuro as a reward for gift reward program at my job. I never used that machine. The menu got lost. That's one thing. And I went to a Singer dealership asking them for assistance, and they refused because I didn't buy my machine from them. They were not nice at all. And they looked at me like I had 17 heads. And because I didn't buy my machine from them, you don't get no help, no nothing. And so I got no help. There were no, as far as I know, there were no YouTube. I don't even know if YouTube was out there. I didn't know anything about YouTube. So I didn't know where to go or how to get any help. So I had no clue how to use that machine. I knew how to sew, but I had absolutely no idea what to do with an embroidery machine. And I never used it. It just sat and sat until it became obsolete and I pitched it. Just be honest. But pitched it just before I moved from Florida. It had turned yellow. Hoops had gotten missing. Stuff was missing, whatever, whatever. And I already had a machine that worked and I was like, I'm not going to worry about. I plugged it in. It started making crazy noise. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have no manual. I didn't want to, I just got rid of it. So that was a totally wasted machine. And it was a darn good machine. It was an expensive machine back in the day. And had I been able to figure out how to use it back then I would have had what, almost 20 years worth of embroidery experience. But I didn't know how to use it and didn't have anybody to help me. So I do understand the frustration of not knowing how to use your machine and being able to figure it out. But we don't have that issue anymore. That is not the issue anymore because there is so much stuff out there on YouTube. The thing that you have to do, and I think I mentioned that on one of my lives, in order to find the information you're looking for, you have to figure out how to word the question on YouTube. You have to word your question differently. Put it in one way if you don't find it, put it in another way. Keep asking the question in different ways. You'll be surprised how you get different videos will come up. You will eventually, hopefully, find a video with the information that you're looking for because it's out there. It's almost editing and everything out there. But it doesn't always pop up. It's kind of like the analytics that I keep talking about my particular channel and how, I'm always asking for, well, not just me, but everybody that's content creator asks for thumbs up, the likes, which is the thumbs up, the subscription, the comments, all of that kind of stuff, because YouTube analytics, which is a computer, looks at those things, and based upon how many you get, it pushes out your channel so people can find it. So I may have a video covering the exact thing that you're looking for, and you will catch the devil trying to find my video by searching for it because YouTube didn't push mine out there where it's easy to find. Now, eventually you might would find my video if you kept searching and putting in different um, words because they always talk about your keywords. And if you put in different words, it may pop up. But that doesn't mean there is not a video out there that's going to cover the subject that you're looking for. So I said all that to say if there's your machine, whatever that machine may be, and you're not finding what you want, just keep searching. I'm pretty sure you can find. And then go on Google. Because Google will refer you back to YouTube or whatever other Facebook, some platform, if it's out there. Sometimes that you can't find by just going through YouTube. Because I know, like, perfect example, not necessarily a video, but a lot of time when I'm looking for a particular design or type of design, I may go on to Etsy. If I've already gone to, I know I'm not going to find it on my regular places, the Embroidery Library and Juju and different places that I always go to. And I know they don't do those kinds of designs pretty much. And I'm looking for something specific. I may go on to Etsy and I put that in and I don't find it. Not to say it's not on Etsy, but I don't find it. It doesn't pop up. I'll go into Google and I'll just put in whatever it is I'm looking for, and I get all kinds of stuff. And it doesn't necessarily have to be on Google, on Etsy, because people are out here selling designs and different things on other platforms. And you find it. I've done that several times where I have found a design that I'm looking for, a specific type of design. And it ain't on Etsy, it ain't on Embroidery, it's on somebody's website or somebody's whatever. But it's out there. Shopify somewhere. It's out there. And I put it in Google and I'll find it. So do the same thing with the video that you're looking for information about your machine to just try to get some help. See if there's a Facebook group that sponsors your machine and try to join that group and ask questions there. Because I know I belong to several groups and I don't know which group this is because I don't pay that much attention to the group as I do to the question, but that's where I even saw the people selling their machines. It's people that ask all kinds of questions, all kinds of questions. Some of the questions I question them. Why you asking this question? Don't you know? Anyway, but you know, some of them are so basic. But regardless, they have the right to ask the question, and which is good because that's why they join the Facebook group to get help. So you join the Facebook group of your machine, and hopefully you'll get information from that group to help you with your machine. And you may hook up with somebody. Somebody might, you know, say, look, I know the answer to this. I can help you out. I can give you some training. I can, support you. I can mentor you. I can do whatever, you never know. You might connect with somebody and develop a friendship with that person. And that person that can kind of hold your hand through certain things. And um, help guide you with your machine. I know my girlfriend Andrea. I talk about Andrea. I don't know if she's on tonight or not, but anyway, she and I met through Eve's um, not her Facebook, but her live. She was on live. I'm on live. And I don't know how we got the phone numbers or whatever. I don't even know how that came about, how we managed to be able to hook up with each other personally, but we did. And we've been friends ever since. We've been friends going at least close to 3 years, if it's not 3 years, it's very close to it. and we met up through Eve's live. We had never met each other. I'm in Florida. She's in Maryland. I'm in Maryland now, so obviously we've met. But we were talking back and forth and he and haha and all that stuff and talking and supporting each other with projects and what have you. And in totally different states. And we developed a relationship through like-minded people on a like on the same channel that we were just happened to be watching together. So people on here that know a lot of stuff that you could just, hook up with them and learn how to do something. You never know. That is perfect platform for stuff like that. So, and you say you bought a 21,000 long arm 8 years ago after quilting it on a DSM. That was a good decision. Um, I don't know what a DSM is. Desk size machine, I'm assuming. I don't know if that's what that means. I don't know. And Daniel, I'm in that category of upgrading my skills. And Christian, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. You have a brother NQ 1600 and it's in the shop. The repair is almost $200. I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's bad. Um, and Robin, you said that's too bad. Yeah, it's too bad that you got to get it fixed and pay $200. But I guess it's cheaper than buying a new machine. I don't know. Don't ask me because I don't really know what a NQ 1600 is or the value of it. But it's your baby, and I'm assuming you're gonna get it fixed. And you said you have the NQ 1700E. 2011 Miss Max. You hope you have a backup machine. If not, I hope the repair is quick. Yep, now that part. I remember when I took my machine into service, and the guy was talking about keeping my machine for 2 weeks, and I was like, oh no, that ain't gonna ever work. No, I can't be away from my machine for 2 weeks. You done lost your mind. I've had withdrawals like crazy. uh-uh. So, no, that would not work. Um, where am I? Yeah, okay, Christian, you have another machine, so that's good. And 2011, Miss Mag, you are absolutely correct regarding the maintenance service and cost is huge. You have to pay from the distance from their shop, including another state in your case. So you said Patton, Missouri. Where are you? Are you in Missouri or another state? And you said that's the big thing about many machines. One breaks and you can use another one if you have more than one. So that's why I suggest that you at least keep one other machine, even if it's a single needle. At least you got something. And somebody said they had way too many machines, and you love your brother machine. I love mine too. And Marina, I love having smaller machines in my arsenal. The portability is always helpful. That's another thing. If you take any kind of lessons or anything around your area and stuff, it's always good to have a smaller machine because it's easier to be portable. Because I have taken lessons and taking my SE 1900 is perfect. It's perfect. It's not too big and it's easy to move around. Uh, Val, you said I kept my home single needle machine going back to a PE 150, which uses a card to transfer. I will have it as long as it stitches. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Um, Okay, and so when you do a live, it will mess up just like we mess up. It's real. That is true. There are going to be times when you mess up. Even though you're trying to be perfect, you're gonna mess up. Trust and believe. I've had some mess up. I try my best not to go on there and mess things up, but I have had mess up. That's just the way it goes. Uh, but yeah, you do need to practice, but you'll still have mess up. There's no way to not have mess ups because you're constantly learning. Marina said the brother man is perfect for insomnia. Oh my goodness gracious. He Oh my goodness gracious. You are telling true. This is the true story. Hopefully it's funny to you guys because he used to crack us up. When I was in nursing school, we had this psych class, psych nursing class. We had this big, thick book. It was a big, thick green book. I don't remember the name of the book. I don't remember the author. All I know, the running joke was it was anesthesia. Every time you open that book and start reading it, you went smooth asleep. And so it was coming up to the holidays, and we were invited over to one of our, because it was a small class and everything. But anyway, we were invited over to one of our instructors' home for a holiday celebration, holiday get together. The class was. And some of the ladies decided all of us were grown, this was almost like grad school. But anyway, some of the ladies decided to put on a little skit, and they were doing this skit, and this person got sick, and they had to do surgery on the person, and they had the person laying on the couch, and they called for anesthesia, and somebody brought that big book out and put it over their face, and the person went out so they could do the surgery. And the psych nurse was there. She cracked up, the psych instructor, because she knew that was a boring tale book. Oh my goodness. I can't tell you to the day was in that book. Because she would assign those chapters and stuff, and you could not get through it. It just knocked you out. So that took me, Marina, when you said it's like for insomnia. Yeah. That book is rough trying to read it. But if you need some information, it is in there. Now, it might take an interpreter to decipher it sometimes, but the information is in there. And I try to go through it and decipher it as much as possible for you guys if I can when I'm doing stuff. Um, and Miss Max, you mentioned the Brother Manual. Have you read and used the playbook? It is better. I have the playbook. I've read the playbook. I talk about the playbook. I've shown people the playbook. I've recommended the playbook. So anybody that does not have the playbook, you might want to get the playbook. The playbook comes with this little card that looks like a credit card, but it's actually a USB stick that you put into your computer, and it has videos on it, and about 30 some odd videos. And I've done some uh, videos using this playbook. So yes, this playbook is way better than the manual. However, it is not all extensive. You're not going to get everything in your playbook that's in your manual, but you will get a lot, and it is very helpful. However, I do want to caution you now. I don't know what it costs now, but when I bought mine, it was not cheap. This puppy cost me $200 just for one doggone book. And the lady had the audacity to tell me that was a discounted price. So I don't know what they cost now. I just know that's what they charge me. Now, I do know some people have been blessed and have been given the playbook with their machine. I did not get the playbook with my machine. I did get a hat frame. but I did not get the playbook with the machine. I bought the playbook because when I was doing my research for the brother machine, I read about any and everything because I specifically told her I wanted the flat brim hat hooping system. I didn't want the big one. I wanted the flat brim because it's easier to use. And I knew about the playbook. So right after I bought my machine, I bought the playbook. I told her, she didn't tell me. I want the playbook because I knew it was going to be helpful to me. So yes, thank you for bringing up the playbook, Miss Max. It is a lot better read than the manual, and there's a it it's the video shows you step by step how to do something, how to hoop whatever, how to do the hat, the flat brim hat frame. It shows you how to do echo stippling. It shows you how to do the jumbo hoop. It just shows you how to do so much. It shows you how to do it, not, you know, read about it. The video actually shows you how to do it. And the fact that it's on that video and the book is yours, you can look at it over and over and over again, which I have. I have looked at the videos on this playbook many, many times. And I know down here, I saw Andrea say something about she needed help. I helped her to the playbook, and that's when she started using her machine when I told her about the playbook because she was having difficulty with hers. So, Robin, oh Lord, she says the manual's a quick nod off for her. Y'all quit with this. I'm trying to get people to read the manual, and y'all telling them it's gonna put you to sleep. Hi, Gifts headquarters. How you doing? Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. And is Gifts headquarters Nancy? Is that her name? If it is, hi Nancy. How you doing? Um, um, Miss Mackey said, "Wow, that sucks. They were stupid. You could have been a steady customer and may have even upgraded later." Now I don't know where that part comes in. I don't know. I must have missed something. Okay. Hi Felicia, how you doing? Don't worry about being late. You're not really late. And hi Andrea. You said that because you needed help. I was talking about my friend Andrea and how we hooked up and everything. She said because she needed help. But again, like I mentioned, uh, she was afraid of her machine. I'm shouting you out, Andrea. Hopefully you don't mind. But she had the 1050X, the 1050, and wasn't using it. And I did tell her about the playbook, and she did get it, the playbook for her to 1050, which she was lucky enough it was less expensive than what I paid for the 1055X because the 1050 uh, came out before the 55X, so the book obviously had come down. So she got the book, and she was very happy with it and started reading it and everything and using it. Excuse me. And now she uses her machine. So she became more comfortable using her machine with the playbook. And of course, we use, like I said, we still talk back and forth all the time, about doing this, that, and the other, and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's always good to hook up with somebody because you can get some help. You can share back and forth. Nobody knows how to do everything. Trust me. Hi, Carol. How you doing? You got the husband fed, so you're back, and now he let you come back. Okay, okay. Miss Mackey, you say you're in North Carolina. Closest repair person is in West Virginia. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Um, Miss Mack, did you read the playbook? Not only have I read the playbook, I have actually used the playbook. And hi, Jenny, you have the playbook but haven't gone through the whole book. Go through your book, do the exercises. Do the exercises in your book. The whole purpose of the book, as I read it before when I was doing my research, if you go through the playbook and do all the exercises, you will have used every icon on your machine. Therefore, you will know what all of them do, what they're for, how the function. Now, it doesn't give you a lot of in depth how to do a whole. Well, it does tell you how to do a whole lot of stuff. But like my design center is a perfect example. It's so much stuff you can do in my design center that the playbook doesn't touch on. It touches on a little, but it doesn't touch on everything that you can do in the my design center. But it does introduce you to my design center to let you know this is something where that you can do. It talks about how to do appliques in on your machine. It talks about how to do the array with your lettering, how to alignment, and, you know, color sort. It just tells you how to do a lot of stuff that you can do on your machine. So it introduces you to different things that your machine is capable of. And that's what I'm always trying to stress, that you need to play with the machine and figure out what it can do. Like I was saying, Marina and I were talking this week, and that particular situation that she was telling me about, that she learned about the Stellar. She told me, she said, well, I'm pretty sure you can do that on the 10 needle machine. And I'm not telling you what it all is, because she said, well, you need to do a video on it. So I'm going to do a video on it. So I ain't going to tell you what it is because I got to do the video. But anyway, uh, figured it out. And yes, you can do it on the 10 needle machine. It's similar to when I did the video on the snowman, not the snowman, the snowflake, the snowflake, and using embrilliance. And I believe Marina and I were talking about that as well. I think she was the one to mention it up to me. And I looked at the video because, yeah, she texted me and said that they were talking about the cut and stitch. And she and I had a cut and stitch. And she said this particular person is going to be talking about the cut and stitch um, on her live. So I got on there and I looked at it, and they were talking about the snowflakes and how to do it. And because they're trying, anyway, they were talking about it with that software. And somebody had asked a question about, can it be done in Embrilliance, and she said, well, I don't use Embrilliance. So she didn't really say, yeah, you can do it with Embrilliance, blah blah blah. So when I looked at it, I was like, I'm pretty sure you can do it with Embrilliance, because you can use Embrilliance if you have Enthusiast. Embrilliance with Enthusiast has the carousel component, and that's all you really need, because that's what the lady kept saying. She said you got to have something that does carousel. So sure enough, that's why I went into Embrilliance, and boom, 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 bam, there it was. So I figured out how to do it, and I did a little video on it, and it was quick and simple and easy. It was not hard at all to do. I think this lady went through the trees and the woods and the forest trying to do it on the software that she was doing it on, whereas to me it was quicker and more simple being done in Embrilliance. And if you saw the video, you can see it's not difficult at all for that particular, and it's fun. If you've not tried it, try it. If you have Embrilliance Enthusiast with the carousel component to it, try it, because you can make some beautiful design. You'd be surprised with your name. So look for that video. Okay. Marina, you're talking to Miss Max, and you said live in Ocean Isle Beach, North Carolina, and you have to go to Myrtle Beach. Plus, the dealer is not into after service care, just likes to sell. So they don't even do. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. And Pearl, is the playbook for certain brother machine? Each, well, let me put it this way, Pearl, and anybody's asking. They have a playbook for, this is what I know. They have a playbook for the PR 1050. There is a, and these are different playbooks. They're not interchangeable. PR50. There's a playbook for the PR1055X. And I know there's a playbook for scan and cut. Now, I don't know which scan and cut machine, but I did briefly see on All Brand, I think they're the ones that does all these videos on scan and cut, mention a playbook for a scan and cut machine. So these are all brother machines. So I'm not going to say every brother machine has a playbook. I do know that there are certain machines, which the 1050 and 1055X do have playbooks. And scan and cut, at least one of the scan and cut, there's a playbook. That much I know. I don't know about anything else. Now, Miss Mack, you say yours was free. And somebody else I know got theirs free. Now, Jenny, you said you had to purchase yours. Yeah, I had to buy mine too. I didn't get it free. I think Leslie got hers free too. So, it just depends. It just depends on your dealer. Trust and believe me. I found that out. But anyway, Marina, plus the video in the playbook has audio. Yes, because the doggone videos on our machine has no audio. Now, I don't know if you are aware of it. The video library on our 10 needle machine, Brother 10 needle machine, is expandable. What does that mean? You can add a video to the machine. Now, I wouldn't do it because I'm thinking taking up memory and all that kind of stuff. Plus the fact, why? You can't, well, I don't guess you can stitch and look at the video at the same time. I've never tried, but I'm thinking, you know what? I'm gonna try that tomorrow. I'm gonna put my if it works, I'm gonna put my playbook stick in the machine and see if I can play it while I'm stitching. Therefore, I can follow along with them because I've always watched it on the laptop and then went and tried it. But if I could put it on the machine and follow the leader, so to say, that's even better. But I do know it's expandable. So you can add to the videos. Will you get sound? I don't know. But the ones that are on there have no sound. So at least the one on the playbook has sound. The lady is actually doing the project herself. She's walking you through it. She's talking you through it. She's doing it step by step, showing you how to do whatever it is that's in the playbook. So is it worth getting? Um, Depending upon if you want to spend the money. Some people have been lucky enough to get it with their machines, and like I said, there's like Miss Max and Leslie and probably some other people got theirs with the machine, and then some of us had to buy ours. I don't regret buying mine at all. I wish it was not as expensive as it was at the time. It's probably come down now because the machines have been out a while and it may have come down. But bargain with your dealer and see if you can get it at a reasonable price because they they be adding. I don't even want to go there. And Andrea, you said you was scared. She was scared to use her machine, like a lot of people are. You're not going to break your machine, and that Andrea, Marina says she's still scared. No, you're not. Girl, all the stuff you be making, you good. You good, Marina. Um, I agree about the volume not being. Yeah, I don't even look at the videos on the machine. To me, they're worthless. To be honest about it, they're worthless. If I can't hear what you're doing, just watching you, and they just kind of animate it through and bam, that no, that doesn't do anything for me. So I don't do anything. Hey, Margot, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a minute. Hope all is well. Um, Miss Max, you said thank you. I would definitely go through the entire playbook. Yes, go through the entire playbook. Don't just let it sit there. Go through the playbook. And Margot said the Dream Machine too has a playbook. Okay, so yeah, There are playbooks. If you have a brother machine, just check with your brother dealer or go on to the brother's website and see if they have a playbook for it. And check it out before you buy it. I wouldn't just buy a site on, although I bought mine site on Steam, but I did read about what it was all about before I got it. But I was just looking around, and the playbooks range from 5 to 200. Yes, they do, because I paid 200 for mine, and my dealer told me it was a $500 book. So basically, she was saying I was getting it at a bargain. And I looked at her like she had lost. Well, I didn't look at her because I was talking to her on the phone. But I looked at the phone like she had lost her mind. Because I was like, I ain't paying nobody no $500 for no book. I didn't want to pay two, but $500, come on now. Mm-mm. But yes, you're right, Carol. You're absolutely correct. They are not inexpensive. And I guess they're still up there at that price. Um, so I don't routinely recommend the playbook. I do talk about the playbook, but I don't necessarily recommend it because of its expense. You know, you got to make up your mind if this is something that you feel is worth um, investing in. I personally, be absolutely honest about, I wouldn't pay $500 for this book. I'm glad that I have the book and it has been valuable to me. I've learned a lot, and I like the fact that I can watch it over and over and over again, because I do. But $500, it ain't worth 500 to me. Put it that way. Let me correct myself. I wouldn't pay $500 for it. You guys do what you want to do, because everybody has their own value on things. But me personally cannot justify paying $500 for it. I did pay the two, and I don't regret that. But yeah. And I was working back then, so I was buying stuff. I was buying stuff anyway. So it's like, okay, yeah, I want it. Send it to me. I want it. Send it to me. Yeah, okay, yeah, I want it. Send it to Because I think she was trying to just, because she didn't mention it to me. This is the sales lady. She didn't mention it to me when I bought the machine. And when I called her up and told her I wanted a playbook, she told me, well, it's 500. She was kind of trying to, in a way, I think, talk me out of not getting it. Um, but then, she said, well, it retails at $500, but I can sell it to you for two. So I was like, yeah, like that was gonna make two sound better. It sound better than five, but I still thought it was expensive. Because when she said five, I thought, like I said, I looked at the phone like she had lost her mind. Oh, I ain't nobody gonna pay no $500 for this book. But anyway, that I digress. Let me get back to my points. Oh Lord, where is my? Did y'all miss me? Because I knocked myself off for about a half second there. I don't know if you all missed me or not. Okay, now this is what I did. Oh, I've been talking for a while. I did look at where to buy machines if you guys are interested, since people are buying machines. I looked at Facebook Marketplace, and I kept going through Facebook Marketplace, and um, didn't look at everything, but I ran across 20 machines. 20 machines. All different kinds, all different makes, all different prices. Most of them, the majority of them, were single needle machines. I think I ran across one or two, well, two or three multi needle machines, a couple of Racomas, 1500, 1501. I think one of them was a 1501, and two of them were the EM 1010. Um, but the majority of the machines were single needle machines, and quite a few of them were old. But they had some models. They had the PE 600, 550s, and 700s, 800s. I even saw SE 1900. I think I saw SE 2000. Um, but yeah, Facebook Marketplace has machines if you're interested in it. Now, buyer beware. And as Marina was saying earlier, you have to be careful about scammers. So buyer beware. I have personally sold on Facebook Marketplace and had good experience with my sales. I had the other machine I had the fast frames with it, but you know your arm that comes with your fast frames fits your machine. So you either got to get a new arm or a new set. And I think I checked and they didn't sell just the arm. So I had to get rid of the set. So I sold the set. I cleaned it up real good, looked brand spank new, didn't have no glue, didn't have no sticky paper, didn't have any on it. You wouldn't have known it was used. It looked real, real good, cleaned it up real good, put it on Facebook Marketplace, and I sold it. I also sold a a clam, I guess that's what they call it. It was a swing away. It wasn't a clamshell. It was a swing away um, heat press that it was like the seven attachments, the heat press, 12 by 12, small. My very first heat press. And, and I had gotten, my son gave me a big one. So I sold that one. Didn't have any issues. I'm not a Craigslist person, so I didn't go on Craigslist, even though when I was doing the research as to where to buy stuff, Craigslist came up. I have not touched Craigslist since it came out years ago about the Craigslist person that did bad stuff to people. Can't use that word, so I won't. But Craigslist, I know people that uh, have been satisfied buying stuff off of Craigslist. So I'm not saying you can't. I'm just talking about me personally. I don't mess with Craigslist. Period. I just don't. But anyway, that I digress. But they do have stuff on Craigslist. eBay, honey. eBay got like eBay got machines. eBay got machines. You hear me? They got any and everybody's machine. But again, buyer beware. So there's a lot of places out there that you can buy used machines, but be very careful. You need to decide how much money you want to spend on a machine. What do you want that machine to do? How big of a hoop you need? What you're going to do with the machine? What features you're looking for? And reputable places to buy a machine. Check out the review of the machine and then check out the review from where you buying it. If you're buying it from like when I sold my fast frame, it was strictly by mail. Person from wherever that person was trusted me because they had to pay. But I think they go through, I don't really know how it actually works with Facebook, how they manage the money. I just know I got my money before I shipped it. Excuse me. And I shipped it out to her and she got it. So that worked out fine. When I sold my heat press, it was a person to person sale. But I set up the sale in a public place during the day, crowded parking lot where lots of people are. I was with my husband, and so there was no issue. Daylight, public place, um, not alone. Have a man with you, husband, brother, sister, husband, brother, uncle, daddy, friend, somebody. Don't go alone, and don't be just women. I don't meet my comfort level. You need a man with you because whoever and the person that I sold it to was a guy, and I knew that. But even if it wasn't a guy, I still would have wanted a man with me, even though it was in a public place, um, and it was a cash sale. So again, the person trusted me, obviously, because he had no way of knowing if the thing worked. But it went down fine, no issue. Didn't hear from anybody. So anyway, I've sold on Facebook Marketplace. Not to say everybody on there is going to be fair or honest or what have you, but that is a place where you can buy machines. You can buy machines on eBay as well. Ken sewing parts or sewing machine. They have a site where they sell used machines. A lot of them were trade-ins and what have you. Um, you can check and see where you can buy a machine near you. Uh, um, I'm looking at this thing where it says use embroidery machines on sale at Craigslist. If you're looking for a used embroidery machine for sale, and they said one of the best places to check is Craigslist. You can find great deals on both new and used machines with various features and price points available. Be sure to read all the descriptions closely before making any purchase, as some machines may require specific parts or accessories that must be purchased separately. It is also important to make sure that the machine is in good working order and has been properly maintained by its previous owner. Now, that's with any machine. Um, on the video that I just put up talking about the LCD panel, and on page 8, I believe it is, page 8, I think, on our 1055X is where you find your stitch count. Every machine, I believe, has a record of your stitch count. You need to know what the stitch count is. Um, I just read something that said 20 million stitches is a good ballpark when you're buying a machine. That means it's been used, but not too much. I have 12 million stitches on mine, and I've had it since May of 2020. So um, that's not a whole lot for 3 years. Oh, I know what it was. It said the average usage of a machine is 20 million stitches per year. That's what it said. Average stitch per of a machine is right around 20 million stitches per year. I've had mine since 2020, and I only have 12 million. And I put on half of that just this year because I put on 5 million this year, right at close to 6. Not this year, but within the year's time of me having it serviced. It also tells you when you had it, what your stitch is from when you had it serviced, and all of that. I went through all of that information, and that information is in your manual. Um, if you're interested in knowing how to read those numbers. But when you're buying a machine, you need to know what the stitch count is. You need to know when the last time it was serviced. You need to try to find out how often it's been serviced. If there's any way to look at the service report, they say try to get that. And then you do your research at market value for your machine. So you can have some kind of idea whether or not the money that they're asking for is fair market. You need to know what features again that you're interested in, what the largest hoop size is, because you don't want to buy a machine that's 4x4 when you were hoping it was 6x10 because you didn't know. Um, and don't let them fool you saying, "Oh well, you can do the positional hoop," because when I I bought the um, LB 5000, I believe. What was it? It was the Project Runway. That's what it was. Project Runway 5000. I believe it was Brother Machine or whatever the heck it was. Anyway, I bought that uh, off of HSN or someplace because I was looking at them. This before I got my SE 1900. And I was listening to them hype it up, pump it up, and tell you all this. And again, remember, I was just getting something for a hobby. I was just getting something to mess around with. And it was a 4x4. And they said, "Oh, you can make you can do the design bigger and this, that, and the other." They didn't say you need a repositional hoop to do that. So I bought it, brought it home, well, got it home, stitched on it. I didn't have that machine a week, 2 weeks max before I sent it back. I realized then this was too small for me because I already knew I wanted to do designs bigger than 4x4. And I didn't even try to reposition a hoop. I didn't know how to do it, didn't understand the concept, but I knew that wasn't what I wanted. So I sent it back packing right away. That ain't what I want. So then I went, I got my SE 1900 off of Amazon. So again, I didn't have a clue what I was doing, what I was buying. I just wanted a machine. And I was looking at price. I was not looking at, I would read the features and all that kind of stuff. But when you don't know embroidery, you don't know what that feature means. You don't know because I didn't know because I didn't do my research. I'm happy that I bought the machine and it turned out to be a good machine, but I did not do what I was supposed to do. I did not do the proper research for a machine until after I bought my first multi-needle machine, and I did not have a good experience and got out of that. And from that point on, no, I was Nancy Drew, if anybody old enough to remember who Nancy Drew is. I was Columbo. I was Perry Mason. I was all these detectives and people that did all. Yeah, I was doing all kinds of research on machines. I looked at the Avance, and I was interested in the Avance. I was interested in the mail code, but the mail code was a little bit more than what I was wanting to pay at the time, and it was more than my brother. And the Avance was right around the same price as the brother, maybe a little less. But it was a 18 needle machine, I believe it was. And it had a huge, it was like 22 by 22 uh hoop. I mean, it was hoop that I fell in love with that. And was going to, I had set up an appointment to go and look at it, do a demo, touch it, feel it, see it, all of that, because it was right there in Tampa, and I was near Tampa. And I kept doing my research and stuff, and then I ran across the the company that sold the Avance, and I saw where they had a mark on the Better Business Bureau. Check off my list. Uh-uh. I said, nope, not going there. Not going there. So I bought the brother. I didn't find any bad review, no red flags, no anything on the brother. Didn't see anybody saying don't get the brother, it's a lemon, all of that. The only thing that people were saying about the brother is what people say, it's expensive, not a cheap machine. It's not. But it does what it says it's gonna do. And I fell in love with the bells and the whistles. So, and I'm a bell and whistle person, always have been. So that was the reason why I wanted to get the brother. But you need to decide what it is you can and cannot deal with, what you want. And I mean the automatic threading and all that kind of stuff like that. That's a really good um, feature to have, but it's not something I have to have because the machine I had before didn't do that, and I managed it. I love it, but I don't have to have that. But it's other things that the machine does. I like all of the things that you can do with this machine. I like my design center. I like the fact that you can do appliques. It's just a lot of stuff that you can do with our machine that I like. That's why I fell in love with the machine and wanted to get it. So when you're buying a used machine, just make sure it's going to give you what you want. Don't just buy the machine because of the price. That you're not going to be happy. You're going to end up trying to buy another machine. Um, they do recommend buying brother machine, but I don't know. Use brother embroidery machines for sale. I don't know exactly where you can buy those at. It doesn't say. It does say you can find great deals on pre-owned models online or in some thrift stores, giving you the opportunity to maximize your budget. I don't know where you can buy a used brother machine without going to a brother dealer and probably buying a trade in. So I don't know. I'm sure that there are personal people that sell machines, but anytime that you're doing that, just be very careful and be aware of who you're buying your machine from. So that's it on selling machines and why people are selling machines. And I just hope that none of my listeners will sell your machine just because um, you're afraid to use it or you don't know how to use it or it's complicated and you're frustrated. Don't give up. Don't give up. Keep on trying. Keep on looking for help. Um, Try your best to find a YouTube channel or someplace that's going to help you out with your machine. Just don't give it away or sell it. If you've invested in it and you don't have to sell it. Everybody has their own personal reasons why they sell their machines or what have you. If you don't have to sell it, I'm hoping you won't sell it simply because you're afraid of it or you're frustrated because you can't figure out how to use it. You think it's too complicated. um, if it's something that you enjoy, you think you would enjoy doing, and you really want to learn how to do it, just stick with it. Because I'm pretty sure you'll find somebody or some place, some Facebook group somewhere that can help you out to get comfortable with your machine. Um, Deborah, you said you didn't get a playbook with your brother Stellar, but you received a code for a master class for 13 lessons and 1 year to use it. So that's good. At least you're getting some training. And Pearl, you said, yes, I bought an embroidery arm off of eBay a few years back and a few other things, but it's been a while. Okay. And hi Jane. Hi from Morgan Hill, California. How you doing? Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. And Millie Smith, how are you? Um, Marketplace does have some good deals sometimes. That's true. And Kristen, how you doing? You said you really needed to hear my message tonight. Well, I'm glad. I'm so glad that I was able to tell you something that was going to be beneficial. Hopefully, you're not trying to get rid of your machine or feel frustrated with your machine because that's why I always ask you guys to give me suggestions. Now, I don't know what kind of machine you have, Christian, or some of you guys I know what machines you have, and some of you all I don't. But and I can only speak on brother. I can't speak beyond brother because I don't have that experience with other machines. But what I can say, if there's if you're using a brother PR 1055X or 1050 or even the Baby Lock Venture, and there's something that you want to learn how to do, or something you're confused about, or something that you need more explanation, let me know, because I don't mind figuring it out and then doing a video on it or talking about it or whatever, because that helps me out. The more I learn, the more I can help you guys learn, and I'm open to learn. I don't have an issue. I want to learn as much as I can about my machine, because that puppy wasn't cheap and it does a lot, and I want to use it to its max capacity. Whatever potential there is on that machine, I want to learn how to do all of it. So I'm learning more and more and more. I know a lot, and there's a lot more I need to learn. So it just motivates me to figure it out so I can show you guys how to figure it out. So I don't mind. Just ask me. Um, I sure hope there are more thumbs up than I see thumbs up, everybody. Excellent information. Thumbs up, yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much, Miss Max. I appreciate that, because as you all know, the thumbs up are very, very important. It keeps the channel going. So that subscribe, likes, share, all of that stuff is very important. So thank you so much, Miss Max. I do appreciate that. And Jane, you say I have the 1055X and you love it. Great company, and they will help if you call. Um, I love my 1055X. I have not, and I don't know what company, I don't know if you're calling brother directly. I've not had to do that, but if that's what you're doing, I'm glad to hear that they are willing to help you. I bought my machine when I was in Florida, and I'm not called the people in Florida because I ain't there. Uh, I just pretty much figure stuff out. If I can't figure it out, I find a YouTube channel that can help me figure it out. Or I grab that book and try to keep from going to sleep reading my manual and try to figure it out. And Kristen, you say you had the Bay or Ba 1501, and it's been a journey. If I had to do it over, I would have bought the Baby Lock 6 needle. Okay. And Jane, you say yes, you've called brother directly. Well, it's good to know that you can call them directly, and they're very helpful. So thank you for sharing that. I was not aware, but thank you. Now, Christian, that's one of the reasons why I was not interested in buying those type of machines, because I was not sure how much help is available. I've heard stories where you can't get, even with the ZSK, which is a German company, very good company. We're in America. There's not a lot of tech people out here that work on those machines spread out all over the place. Where are they? So you got to rely upon maybe a phone call if you're lucky, or you got to figure it out yourself. And that's something that I did not want. Even before I moved from Florida here, not to say that it would have stopped the move probably, but I did check to see where was the nearest brother store, brother dealer, because I wanted to make sure that I was close enough to a brother dealer if and when I need to have my machine serviced, and I was. And yeah, Christian said their customer service is wonderful. That's good to hear. That's good to hear that they are um, very, very good. So I'm glad to hear that the brother company will help you out. I probably need to call them just to check them out and see how they will. respond to you. Um, the baby lock machines are sisters to the brother. So if you got a baby lock, you got a brother. You got a brother, you got a baby lock. That's kind of how I look at it. Because they're so close together that if you learn how to use one machine, then you're probably going to be able to use the other machine. And so um, that would not have been a bad thing. And I do know people don't buy brothers because they think they cost too much money, and they do. They're not cheap. I'm not going to say they think it is. They're not cheap machines. It's a mouthful. You got to bite that bullet. But I just felt like that was the best choice for me, especially after I had a bad experience with the other machine, and I bought the machine based on price. And I quickly realized that was not the best decision. Not the best decision because it was not a good experience. Um, but I have not regretted not one day with either one of my brother machines. My SE 1900, bless her little heart, she's still percolating and doing her thing. And she does a lot of stuff that I haven't even utilized her to her fullest. And because I went from having a single needle machine in February to having a 10 needle machine in actually I bought a 10 needle machine in I bought my single needle machine in February 2020. I bought a multi needle machine in May of 2020, and then I bought my brother machine in February of 21. So I went from February to May to from a single needle to a multi needle machine. What, 3 months? I was like, I need a big machine. I'm sitting up there stitching, and I like intricate designs. So I'm stitching out some kind of whatever I'm stitching out on my single needle machine. And I got my thread colors all lined up because you got to change your thread, and I got it lined up. And I mean, I'm rolling, and it's fine. And then sometimes you stitch 10 stitches in red, you take it off, put the blue on, then you stitch, and uh, then they want 10 more stitches, then you put the red back. I was like, this is a bunch of no. All of this switching back and forth and switching back and forth with this thread is for the bird. It was fun, but it was like it's got to be a better way. And that's what made me say I wanted a multi needle machine. But I still was looking at price. I was thinking about a 4 needle, five, 6 needle, something like that. Looking at the price. But then found a machine. Big mistake. Big mistake. So learn from the mistake. Do your research. Do your research. Now, there's one other thing that I wanted to talk about briefly because I know it's getting up there in time. I had mentioned the future of embroidery also in my little thing, and I looked at John Deere. I think everybody knows who John Deere is. He's the king of digitizing. John Deere Legacy Embroidery. He's with Wilcon. He sells the hatch, Wilcon hatch, and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, he did a video, and it says, I think the name of the video is The Future of Embroidery or something along that line. And I watched this video, and he was at this convention in Long Beach, California, I believe it is. And oh my goodness, you guys watch this video. They had some machines in there, and ZSK was one of them. They had some futuristic machines up in there. I'm like, you have got to be kidding. The one thing that stood out the most to me, um, and it was a ZSK, and you guys may already be aware of this. I don't know. And it's not a machine that any of us would be doing because, well, I'm assuming this is a big machine. This machine is this machine probably costs $1 million. I don't know. It's a big machine. This machine creates the color. You don't have to change the thread. They had different color shirts hanging up above, and they had this big monitor and everything, and then they had the machine, and it's all computerized, and you program the machine, and based upon the color of the shirt and whatever that design is that's going on that shirt, it created the color on the thread. So the thread is just white or whatever. But when it stitches out in color. I was like, you have got to be kidding. Um, I'm trying to see what was the name of it. I don't know if I have the name on there, but it was just it just floored me. They also had a prototype that could stitch over 2,000 stitches per minute. 2,000 stitches per minute. They said they is a completely different technology inside than any of the machines are now. And it was running smooth as glass. Smooth as glass. Oh, you Miss Mack, you said you saw that too. Wasn't that amazing? Hi Tricia, how you doing? That was simply amazing. I could not believe it. The other thing they had, which I wasn't aware of it. They have a DT brother has a new machine, but it's huge. So again, this is not something you're gonna have in your house. It's a DTE machine, direct to embroidery machine, where it does embroidery and that I don't want to call it sublimation, but it's like sublimation. So it has the ink and the embroidery, and it works seamlessly together. I had not seen that either. Um, this machine that I was talking about with the color thing is like a laser system of some kind. And it was just phenomenal to me. I was just floored. So if you have not seen that video, look at it. It's very eye-opening where embroidery is going. Now those machines are not home machines. They're commercial machines. And I mean big commercial machines. They do the night, the big shot stuff. They had the Chanel machines. I mean, they just had all of these wonderful machines. I said, I would love to go to that convention next year just to be there. I can't buy nothing. I can buy maybe some a needle and some thread or maybe a vinyl or something. I can't buy none of the machine. But they had everybody there. Mighty Hoops was there. Caesar was there. Stahl was there. All of the embroidery machines were there. Brother was there. It was just everything you wanted to see was there. It was just such an experience to me, just looking at the video, his little 20-minute video, walking around, talking to people and seeing what some of the things are. And basically, as he said, the future of embroidery. So the future of embroidery is it's just growing leaps and bounds. It's not dying. It's growing leaps and bounds. And if they have these kinds of machines now, what do you think they're going to have 10 years from now? 10 years from now, some of that technology will be scaled down where you can have it in your home. Now, for me, it's going to be too late. But for you guys, some of you guys, it may not be. But and then as it scaled down, hopefully the price will scale down. But I know these things were not cheap because they were just way too advanced in the technology of it. But I just thought it was really, really, really a good um, show to go to. So, Miss Max, you said you like to go next year just for the heck of it. Yeah, me too, because it just would be for the heck of it. Ain't buying nothing out of there. It might not buy something, but it won't be no machine. That's for sure. Not none of those machines that they were showing. Now I'm sure they have stuff in there that's affordable, just for regular people. But what he was showing was, beyond us, beyond me. But it was just so fascinating. I was just intrigued. Miss Mac, it is not going to be too late for you. You're just getting started. Girl, I'm old as dirt. I'm just getting started. Unfortunately, I waited till I retired twice to start doing embroidery. So 10 years from now, I'm gonna be just like they say about the health part where you can't see. I can barely see now. But nonetheless, whatever it is, if the Lord blesses me to be still around and still have half my senses, I'll still be doing this because I enjoy it. Marissa, I missed the show and it's 45 minutes for me. I will be there next year. Girl, you need to go. I don't know how much it costs to get in, but it can't be that bad. But if you're that close, go. Go, girl, go. Thank you for the valuable information you give us. You're more than welcome. I do appreciate it that you're getting something out of it. I do appreciate it. Val, you said the Impression Expo in Atlantic City may not be as big, but it's pretty large, and they have just about everything. Okay, when is theirs? Because that's even closer, and it's in Atlantic City. Well, Long Beach ain't, Long Beach is cool too. But Atlantic City, I just have to go straight up. I don't have to go across the country. But that particular show, I don't even remember the name of the show. I just know it was this big fancy stuff. And if you saw it, you said it's the end of March. Okay. If you saw it, um, you said it's the same company. Was that the name of it, the Impression Expo? I think it was. So it might be the same. It might be the same. Now I don't know if they're gonna bring everything because I can imagine how much it costs, especially for Z all of those big machines to set up because that was just a fantastic presentation and to look at all that stuff that they had. I would just be in such awe just looking at it. It would be almost like going to a big concert or something and seeing my favorite performer up close and personal. I would be in awe. Oh my goodness, you have got to be kidding. And his son, I believe it was his son, went to another one in Canada. And I think it was the same company putting it on, but it was in Canada. He didn't do as good of a job as his dad, obviously, because his was kind of fast, and he didn't get. He's not John Deere, so he didn't get a chance to interview the big shots like John Deere. John Deere was able to talk to all these people and get their attention and everything, but he uh he was videoing and he said, and I don't know, he might have been joking, but anyway, he said that the security guard told him he had to leave because he was videoing too much. He was giving away too much information or something. So I don't know if that's true because I tell you, if I was in there, I would want to do some videoing too because I would want to do some live so you guys could see some of the stuff. So if I go to anything like that, I'm definitely going to try to do that. Now I wanted to do that when I went to the expo in Fredericksburg, but the signal was so bad I couldn't get any reception. I couldn't get reception on on my phone. So I wasn't able to video. I was disappointed because that was my initial plan to do that, but I couldn't. So Value says the same company, and you say you believe John Deere has a video on that one too. Okay, and Marissa, you said I went once before the big C, COVID, I guess. You can stay with me if you come. The showroom costs nothing to get in the classes. Okay, okay. Well, thanks for the invite. But yeah, I Impression Expo Long Beach. Okay, that was it. Yes, that was it. That was it. Impression Expo Long Beach, California. Look up John Deere and it says the future of embroidery. I think that's the name of his video. And if you are interested, I think the video is about 20 minutes, but it definitely shows you um, a lot of some of the new stuff that the embroidery industry is doing. And you know, he's with excuse me, he's big with the big shot. It wasn't any home machines that he showed. It wasn't any of that. These were these big, huge, humongous, uh, 20 head machines and all that stuff. And like I said, for the big shots. But it was just interesting to see what these machines can do. I had never seen a Chanel machine. I was impressed. That was beautiful work. Would you love to have a Chanel machine? Can you imagine the money you can make? And I mean, it was just so much that the machines, and I'm sure it was some small machines that we could put into our homes that they were selling there as well. But he didn't show that because I guess that was not uh, his focus or his purpose. But I'm sure if any of us was to go, that we would be able to see stuff because the people that were in there, the people, some of the regular people that he interviews, not the company people, but just regular everyday people, they look just like us, regular everyday people. They didn't look like, you know, you can't tell millionaires when they millionaires, but they just look like regular everyday people that were just walking through there looking just like we would be walking through there looking. So it would be something that we could do. So, Val, you said the Atlantic City Impression Expo is going to be March 21st through the 23rd. Are you going, Val? Um, and it takes 2 whole days to see everything. I believe that, Marissa. I believe it does take 2 whole days because that place looks huge. And yeah, so definitely go next year. And Jenny, you said you did see John's video and you agree it was amazing. Yes, it was. So, like I said, look at the video. I was excuse, I was very intrigued, very entertained. Got a lot of good information. There was oh Val, you say you are going. Well, it's good to know. We might need to talk. Um, there was one thing that we could afford. Well, two things that I wrote down that we could afford. One of them, I don't know if anybody would ever be interested in it, but it's uh, Deborah, you said the video is called "What's New in the Embroidery Industry." I thought it was the future of embroidery, but anyway, what's new in the embroidery industry? If anybody's interested, if you've not seen the video and you're interested in that, look it up. But he talked to this one guy that had this company called Pup Lid, Pup, pup like a puppy, Pup Lid, and he was selling trucker hats for puppies. They were too cute. Trucker hats for puppies. And he initially, when they started the company, they were actually doing the embroidery and everything on the hats and selling them. Now they're selling blanks. And the company is called Pup Lid. And so if anybody's interested in getting into puppy trucker hats as part of your uh, um, stuff that you want to sell, then you might want to get in touch with that. So that was interesting. And then Caesar was there, and they had this Italian puff HTV. Um, well, it says Italian puff HTV. That's what I wrote down. And I'm not into HTV, but anyway, that was interesting, and I think I was able to find some of that this week. I think I found it. Wrong drawer. It's over there. But anyway, it's vinyl that put on your shirt or whatever. It's just regular vinyl, but it puffs up to a 3D, and you have to run it through twice. You heat press it on, and you let it cool off for a few minutes, and then you heat press it again, and then it puffs up to a 3D look. I thought that was pretty cool. So I could buy that probably, and I could buy a puppy hat. So there was something I could buy. And then they had Mighty Hoops in there, so I might could buy Mighty Hoop if I was there. Um, what else did I write down yeah, I got this razor printing system changes colors of the thread without changing the thread. And the name of the machine was Racer, Racer. That just floored me right there. That particular one. I thought that was so interesting. So that's what I wrote down. Um, oh, that was Stahl that was doing the demo with the vinyl and stuff. So you might can go to Stahl and talk about it. I mean, check on it if you're interested. And Millie, hi Millie. You love Chanel. I do too. I found one on Marketplace. I make faux Chanel patches now. Okay. Was it affordable? And Val, you say I try to go every year. They have classes for a price, of course, and I will send you the info. Thank you. Appreciate that. And Jenny, you said I want to get some of those pup lids. They look so cute. Weren't they cute? They were so cute. Uh, and yes, it was to keep the sun out the puppy's eyes. That's how it came about. Somebody had whoever the owner or creator or whatever took their puppy on the beach, and they noticed that the puppy was having difficulty with the sun and all that stuff getting on, and so he created or did the puppy hat, and that's how his business grew and flourished. So, like I said, they were initially just doing the puppy hats with um, with their own embroidery and everything on it. But now they have branched out where they actually will sell the blanks. So if you're interested in just getting some puppy hats for yourself, so you can do your own designs and stuff on it, then Pup Lid would be where you want to check it out because I thought that was so cute, 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 cute. And Marissa, you said you have metallic puff HTV that you're going to try this weekend with the embroidery. Okay. All righty then. I don't have any of the metallic, but that sounds really cute. You have to show us what it looks like. You can put it. How can you show me what it looks like? I need to figure that out. How you guys can show me your stuff because I know Jeanette has her Facebook, so people can put stuff on her Facebook page and show back and forth. I don't have a Facebook page yet, but I'm thinking about it. And I'm also thinking about a Etsy shop. So I'm doing a lot of thinking. But the one thing that I am thinking about that I want to mention, then I'll let everybody go. And don't everybody jump on me and chime in at the same time. But I am thinking about changing my channel name. So too we begin embroidery. I'm thinking about changing that name. So I need suggestions. I need suggestions. Uh Tricia, you said me too a lot of things. I do a lot of thinking now. I got to do something with my thinking, but I am thinking about that. And again, like I'm thinking about changing my name. So you may be wondering why, and you guys may have already thought about this in the back end. I know the name can be a tongue twister and even hard to remember. And I think if I came up with a simpler name, more people will be able to find me and remember me. So that will hopefully help my channel to grow. And I have been thinking about this for a while. This is not a new thought. I've been thinking about this off and on for about a year, to be honest about it, because I have noticed on several occasions where people would give me a shout out, but they can't remember my name. Even looking at it, reading it, and they still can't come out with the name. And the other night, I was looking at Alexis on So Sweet Academy, and I met her at the Fredericksburg Expo that we went to, and I, I put a comment in and everything, and I told her, remember me, I met you, blah, blah, blah. And she said, yeah, I do remember you and everything. And then she was trying to tell people that I had a channel. And my name was sitting up there big as day, and she couldn't get it out. And she's not the first person to do that. So I started thinking, I said, you know what? That's a hindrance. It's a hindrance. And I'm trying to get my channel to grow. And so I'm trying to think of all the things that I can do to help it grow. And I'm seriously thinking that changing my name, and I know Marissa, you said I think that's a great idea for you. So if you're thinking, if that is your response to me changing my name, say yes. So I know that's what you're responding to. Because I I think if it's something simpler, people will remember it, and maybe more people will come on, because they might want to come on, but they can't remember what the heck my name is. It's like, I want to see that girl. Yeah, the soul to something of, and it, dang, I don't know what's wrong with it. Why did I get that blackout? I don't know if you all saw the blackout, but I just had a blackout just a second ago, and I hope, yes, the idea for you change. Okay, great, thanks. So you agree with me that that would be a good idea. So what I am, and I'm going to put this. How about sew to embroidery? That's a good thought. I want all suggestions. I'm going to put this question in the comment on my channel. I know everybody doesn't go into the comment to the community page, but on the community page, you can. Yeah, I did freeze, so I actually went blank, Robin. It disappeared and then popped back on. So that's what happened on my end. I don't know why that happened, but that's what it happened. So I've put this out there, the universe, to a few people already to get people's thinking caps on to help me come up with a catchy. I want something that is simple, unique, and catchy. And it doesn't have to. The soul to embroidery is an idea. It does not have to include the soul to. I love that, but it doesn't have to include that. Uh, it can or cannot have my name. I just want something that is going to be unique and catchy and memorable and easy to say, not a tongue twister, not a mouthful. I came up with "So Too We Begin Embroidery," and I don't know but I was thinking the whole purpose of that was the "So Too" because my company is sold to soul stitches and things. So I wanted the "soul to" part to stay in there. because it's sew to sew stitches and things. So that's where that part came. We begin embroidery came up because I am learning, and as I learn, I share. So we're doing this collaboratively. We're doing this as a team. So that's where the we begin embroidery. So we're doing this thing. So that's where that whole name thing came. But see, that's nobody knows that but me unless I tell you guys, because you can't just look at the name and say, "Oh, okay, that's what she's talking about." No, you look at the name and say, "What in the world she named that thing that for?" So again, like I said, I'm thinking that it would be beneficial to me to change my name. And, Facebook allows, not Facebook, YouTube allows you to change your name and all that kind of stuff. And I just got to make sure when I do change it, I do it where I don't lose my people and I don't lose my subscriber count. I don't want to lose none of the analytics that I've already gained because I'm trying to grow. I ain't trying to start over. But I do want it to be something that is going to work. And embroidery homeschool mom, you say naming channels and stores can be hard. Yes, they can be. Yeah, they are. Because I was reading this starting an Etsy store book that I got, and one of the most important things that they tell you, you need to have a catchy name, unique name, but it needs to be something that tells people what you do, but is memorable. So, Margot, you said, and hi, how you doing? I have no problem with remembering your name. I will follow you with whatever name you go with. Thank you. How sweet. And Marissa, I was on some other channel today and said YouTube is making changes, uh, and that may be why. I was on some other channel today, and they said YouTube is making changes. YouTube is always making changes, and I don't know with their analytics and stuff. They're always making changes. They try to make changes to make the analytics easier. Good night, Pearl. Make the channels easier for people to grow because you do make money as you grow, but you don't make money until you really grow. I mean, you got to get it like where I am right now, I make pennies. I mean literally pennies. So, I mean, I've looked in where I made 15 cent, 10 cent. When I tell you pennies, I'm being honest. I'm not being facetious. I'm being honest. Literally make pennies. So, you have to really go up the ladder if you're going to make any money off the platform, even though you're spending money. Because every time I do a project that requires me to use any type of product, that's money that I'm spending because I have to buy the fabric, the shirt, the whatever it is in order to make it. That's money that I'm spending that I don't get because I'm not making money. And I need to make money. You need to sustain your channel. And the only way you can do that is to grow. Eve with the baby booty is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Eve has had her channel at least 8 years, I think she said. Because the last time I heard her talk about it, it had been like 6 or 7 years. That's been a while back. So I know she has had her channel at least around 8 years. She has about six. The last I looked, she has roughly 60 plus thousand followers. Now there are people that started a year or two ago and they 102. Katrina, great, graceful, whatever that is. See, I can't even remember her. That's how you have these names and you can't remember them. That's not good. Katrina Graceful Creation, I think it is. But anyway, she's at 200 some odd thousand now, and she just started a couple of years ago. So some people grow like crazy. Angela Jasmina, she's been doing hers like 4 or 5 years. She's 200 some odd thousand. But back to Eve. Eve was making money, but she always said she wasn't making a lot of money. And now I understand what she's saying because it's true. Because you got to be up there to make a lot of money. And that's why she shifted her whole focus. That's why she's into the rhinestone business because she's making money off of that. That is lucrative for her now. And that's why she shifted her focus because she wasn't making the kind of money she wanted to make doing what she was doing the way she was doing, nor was she growing the way she wanted to grow. Now her growth, and I'm all in her business and I shouldn't be, but I'm just looking, comparing her stuff to mine. And, I always look at people's stuff and compare where they are and where I am and all that kind of stuff because that's just part of the analytics. But her growth is not going up probably the way she wants it to grow, but her business has grown. So her YouTube channel has been very nice to her since she's shifted focus. I don't plan to shift focus as far as what I'm doing. I do intend to add some stuff because I am going to do some rhinestone. I am going to do some sublimation. I am going to get my second camera up and try to do some demos on my Tuesday night lives and stuff like that. So I am looking at doing, and I mentioned that in my goals set for the year. So I am planning on doing some things a little different that hopefully will help me grow. But my main focus will always be embroidery, and my main focus will always be with the 10 needle machine because I don't think there's enough information out there about the 10 needle machine, and embroidery is my love. So that's going to always be my focus. But I do know that I need to do some shifting on some things. And one of the easiest things is to change the name. So they also say to have watch. Yeah, you do. That's that's important, Marissa, because the longer you watch the video, the likes and comments. That's another important thing. Even if you all don't do anything but say hi, Shirley, how you doing? I liked your video. I didn't like your video. Why did you do this? How did you do this? Whatever. Comments are very important because what it does say to the computer, the analytics, you watched it. You're not a robot. You didn't just turn it on and walked away or whatever. You actually watched it. That helps with your analytics and that makes them push your channel out because that's how you grow. When they push your channel out where you're easier to find, like I mentioned earlier in this presentation, the easier you are to be found, the more you're going to get, the more you're going to grow because people are going to be able to find you, watch you, hopefully enjoy you, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, the whole 9 yards. So the easier you are to find, the better it is for the channel. Thus, the name change. Thus, as you mentioned, Marissa, watching the video all the way through and liking it and put a comment in there. I love it when I get comments. I love it when people ask me a question. I love it when people make a statement, whether it's a good statement, bad statement. I've had some people, okay, I didn't think you did this good. I didn't think you did that. I've had a few of those. Not a lot, thank goodness. But I've had a few. But the comments help because it helps me to know how well or how not well I'm doing and whether or not people are appreciating what I'm doing. So that when I get you guys to say, you appreciate what I do and it's helpful to you, that helps me a lot because that makes me feel like, okay, you're doing something right. And that makes me want to keep doing it because I do want to keep doing it. And homeschool mom, you said that's why I have my name in the profile picture, but who I am in the channel name, but not sure if it makes sense. And Marissa, they say you're okay, the watch hour. And you say, I agree, there's not much about the 10 needle machine. And that's one of the main reasons why I decided to do the channel and I decided to stick with the 10 needle machine. Because I could do most of the stuff that I do on the 10 needle machine on my little SE 1900, like a whole bunch of other people are doing it on their little machines and got channels and doing well. But I use my machine 99% of the time. And I know that a lot of the videos that I look at, like the rope basket, I have yet to see a rope basket video where they use the 10 needle machine to do the embroidery in the basket. It may be out there, I just haven't seen it. So, I know I haven't seen every video out there, but I haven't seen that. And there's been several things that I've wanted, that I have done, that I have tried to do, that was not done on a multi needle machine. It was done on a single needle machine. So if you have a multi needle machine, whether it's a brother or not, you want to know how to make whatever it is with your machine. At least that's how I felt, and that's how I feel. I want to know how to do this with my machine, with the machine that I'm using. So, with that being said, I figure there's a lot of people out there. I know it's not as many people with multi-needle machines as there are with single needle machines. So, that in itself is a hindrance as far as growth is concerned, and I understand that. But you can do the same thing that I'm doing. If I show you how to do something on the 10 needle machine, you can take that information and convert it to a single needle machine, just as I take the information that I see being done on a single needle machine and convert it to a multi needle machine. So it works both ways. So I understand. I'm getting ready to get off of here because I'm just running my mouth and I'm already 30 minutes over than what I normally are. But I just wanted to bring that up. So if you guys don't mind putting, good night. If you guys don't mind putting your thinking cap on and try to help me come up with a name, like I said, I'm going to put this question in the community page on my channel, and you can put information on that if you come up with any good ideas. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and say good night as well so everybody could get off, get some sleep, do something else, whatever it is. Have a great rest of the week. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do appreciate it. I appreciate your support. Don't forget those thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you so much. Take care and good night, everybody.